My 365 Podcasts with me, Pete Cohen. Hi, it's Pete Cohen here, and thank you so much for joining me for another My 365 podcast. This podcast today is called Shut the Duck Up. Sorry, Pete, what did you just say? Shut the duck up. What am I talking about? Well, listen, in this podcast today, I want to show you how you can radically change your life by changing what you say to yourself. Look, the one thing that each and every single one of us do every single day is breathe. It's the most consistent thing we do. The next consistent thing we do is we talk to ourselves. And they say, whoever they are, that that's a sign of madness, talking to ourselves. Well, it's definitely not a sign of madness. It's definitely a sign that you are alive. But is it possible to change what you say to yourself? And would changing what you say to yourself, would it impact your life? Well, that's what I'm here to do. You see, so much of what goes on in our world, we can't see because it's inside us. But if we took a moment each and every day to become more aware of what we're saying to ourselves and the impact that has on our life, so much of this goes unnoticed. And what I'm here to do, to tell you today is, look, it's okay. Everyone does it. But why do we do it? Well, it's kind of how we make sense of the world. Many years ago, when you were really small, you didn't know that you talked to yourself. You just did it because it was how you moved through the world. So what happened? Well, once upon a time, when you were born, you didn't even talk. The only reason you learned to talk was because you wanted things. You saw things. You made a noise. You screamed. You cried. What did you want? You wanted to be held. You wanted to be touched. You wanted to be fed. You wanted your nappy to be changed. You just wanted things. And then when you got a little bit older, you learned to walk. Why? Because you wanted things. What did you want? Things that you saw. The world was your playground. And then when you learned to play, you learned to talk out loud with the things that you were playing with, your toys. And then you became a little bit older and you became a little bit more self-conscious. And then when you became more self-conscious, what you said outside, you said it inside your head. From the age of maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old to maybe the age where you were a teenager, and then you really started talking to yourself. Who am I? What do I do? Who do I hang out with? What music do I listen to? What are the things I do? And you see, to try and make sense of the world inside your head is all very good, but in many cases, we would benefit so much by talking to people sometimes about our inner world, because it's a world that, as Einstein said, reality doesn't exist in the outside world. It exists inside your head. And you have the power to change it. For me, the voice in your head, as many of you know, is like a duck. It can really quack away. Quack, quack. It can actually be quite annoying from time to time. But what I'm here today to remind you all of, look, it's okay. What you say to yourself affects how you feel. How you feel affects your actions. And your actions affect your life on a day-to-day basis. You see, there's a word that many people maybe don't really know what it means, but they're living a life of mediocrity. And then when you look at what that word really means, it actually means caught in the middle of a rugged mountain. Media means middle. Ocrity in Latin means rugged mountain. And that's where many of us are. We're just kind of caught in the middle. We're never really rising up. We just kind of stay put. Would it be possible? Would it be possible for you to change what you say to yourself for your life to be better? You see, just imagine you did have a duck in your head. I know it seems a bit crazy, just like an imaginary friend. Imagine you could take it out of your head and you could look at your duck. And imagine now you could give your duck a name. What would you call your duck? Mine's called Simon. Now, I know that might seem to some of you like, Pete, you've lost it. You've got an imaginary duck and you're calling him Simon. It's just a way. It's using imagery to see that there's something that you say to yourself. And all I ask all of you to do, if you really want to change your life, as this has been something I've been doing for many years, is to become more aware of the patterns of the things that you say to yourself on an ongoing basis. Listen, you can't change what's happened to you. You can't even really change the future. But what you can change right now is what you say to yourself. Some of you have heard me say this before. I see a few levels to self-talk because that's what the duck is. So name your duck now. And maybe for the next few days or weeks or months, just heighten your awareness to see what Simon or Lisa or whatever you call your duck is saying to you. You can't do this. You're rubbish. You're going to fail. Or you're brilliant. You can do this. You see, the first level of self-talk for most people is pretty destructive. You can't do that. You're going to fail. You're rubbish. You failed in the past. You're going to fail in the future. You ain't got it what it takes. No one likes you. Look at yourself in the mirror. This is what a lot of people say to themselves. Why? Practice. We kind of live in a world that is kind of giving us those messages to a certain extent, like there's something wrong with you. Well, there's something wrong with all of us. It's called being a human being, because human beings aren't perfect. We're not perfect, but we are amazing. And if you want to realize your true potential, realize that what you say to yourself can massively affect how you feel. Right now, if I started talking to you like this, I don't like you, I'm so depressed. You ain't going to listen to this. But if I speak to you with enthusiasm and passion and excitement, I might just wake up a part of you that goes, hey, he's actually got a point. I might listen to this guy. Shut the duck up. Yeah, I do have a duck inside my head, but please don't give yourself a hard time about this. See the funny side of what you say to yourself, because if you see the funny side of you, I really feel that it gives you a chance to consider new options. You see, the first level, destructive. Second level is, I really could change. I might change. I think about it. I might do. Oh, cozy, lovely. That's where a lot of people are. Shoulds, coulds, mights, hope. And then the third level is, that's it, no more. And that's where a lot of people get to in their life, to get to a point when they actually start to change because they feel that they can't take anymore. This is what happens. They go to the doctor. The doctor tells them, listen, you're diabetic, or you're not in a good place. You need to you're overweight. You've got high blood pressure. Or they're in a relationship. It's so destructive that things get so bad that they decide to change. Now, that can work to a certain extent. But often people don't get very far because they get comfortable again. The fourth level is positive self-talk. That's when you say to yourself, come on, you can do this. You've got what it takes. Let's go for it. You see, and you notice that I keep saying, you see, for me, what I'm trying to say to you is, look, become more aware. You are brilliant. You know, and I know. It might not always seem this way, that your future is unwritten. No one's written your future. And you have the power to create it. Let me just say that again. Your future is unwritten. Write it down. My future is unwritten, and I have the power to change it. What power could I adopt? Well, in the first case, the first power you could adopt, if you wanted to adopt, was changing what you say to yourself on an ongoing basis. What else would you need apart from realizing that your future is unwritten, that you have the power to change? I believe it's coaching and learning how to radically take care of yourself. To radically take care of yourself is a departure from traditional way of most people moving through the world, where you honor yourself and you really truly start to see the gifts that you have, the talents that you have. What else would you need? Well, I believe that people need help. They need support, to be surrounded by like-minded people that are also moving towards making a positive change in their life. That's why every single day we broadcast on Facebook at 7 a.m. UK time. Just find me on Facebook, Pete Cohen. Then you can search for our Facebook group, My 365, which is 365 days of free life coaching. Every day, 7 a.m. I will be a consistent force in your life, something you can tap into, because everybody needs someone. So let's recap here. Everyone's got a duck inside their head. It might be another animal, but for me, I would encourage you to see it as a duck. And you know what? We'll even send you a copy of my best-selling book, Shut the Duck Up. Just go to mi365.me. That's mi365.me / free book. Just take care of the shipping and handling, and we'll send you a copy of that. And you can learn even in more detail what your duck is all about, what you're saying to yourself. Change what you say to yourself, change your life. So let's recap. Name your duck. The next thing I want all of you to do is write down, my future is unwritten. I have the power to change, and I'm going to change. I really appreciate every single one of you listening in, and take some time to reflect on what are you taking away from this podcast? What's the one thing you're going to do? Because it's what you do right now that's going to affect the next moment. We really appreciate you. Have an awesome day, and we look forward to seeing you soon on the next My 365 podcast. Take care. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and if you want more free inspiration to optimize your life so you can achieve your goals in all the different areas of your life, then visit mi365.me. That's mi365.me, and sign up to 365 days of free coaching with me, Pete Cohen. Thanks for listening, and have an awesome day.